Howdy, I'm Kyle McClinigan, the multimedia editor for the battalion, and welcome to this week's episode of The Bat Signal. Student body elections will open this Thursday, March 3rd at 9 a.m. and will remain open until Friday, March 4th at 7 p.m. Given that this week's print edition covers all the candidates for both the student body president race and the Yell leader race, this week's episode of The Bat Signal will also be giving a brief overview of the candidates. Up first, we'll be discussing the 9 candidates running for student body president, as listed in alphabetical order, where we'll be listening to a short summary of each of their main platforms. Up first is mechanical engineering junior Victor Ferro, who said his platform is simple.
My platform is simple. I want to put the students first. I want to put you first. Because at the end of the day, students are the core of this institution, the core of this university. So if we don't put students first, we're not going to get anywhere. That's why I'm running for student body president, to make sure that every single student has a place here on campus, find their home away from home, and to make sure that every student feels supported. And how we're going to do this? We're going to do this with my 3-point platform, the community, access and inclusion, and infrastructure.
Next is finance junior Case Harris, who said he had 3 main priorities.
Okay, so 30 seconds. I would say my 3 main platform points, starting with number 1, is unity through tradition. I think that it is so key that we just keep alive the heartbeat of this place. It's what unites all students. So we want to increase unity through tradition, and we have tangible ways we're going to do that. Number 2 would be connecting Aggies to new possibilities. And like I said, there's so many opportunities available at Texas A&M, but there's a little bit of a gap that we need to bridge, because there are a lot of students that don't know how to find these resources, and we need to change that. And then number 3 is advocating for the support students need, and that's the little things that actually make a big difference at the end of the day. We want to increase mental health awareness, increase sexual assault prevention, grow the open resource textbook program, and then work with parking, try to decrease parking prices.
Agricultural economic junior Megan Hine said her campaign is all about student empowerment.
Going more into depth of each point of my platform, with growth, we really wanted to highlight not only keeping up with the influx of Aggies in our growing institution, but also growing resources on campus for Aggies that are already here. We want to do this by implementing more efficient dining options, whether that be through delivery on campus or more efficient ways to order ahead and allow for pickup by students between classes. For leadership, we really want to stick with my motto of act and not react through accountability, continuity, and transparency. I think for this one, we really want to highlight continuity, because we understand that there's continuing efforts in the Student Government Association right now, and we don't want it to end with my administration. We want to continue the push for implementing fall break, making digital IDs, as well as encouraging open educational resources to make college more affordable for students here. For opportunities, we want to make sure that we keep the opportunities and experiences here at Aggieland as impactful as possible, whether that's creating scholarships for sports passes through the 12th Man Foundation for students who may not be able to financially afford being able to stand with the 12th Man, and giving them the opportunity to attend sporting events, or really focusing on preventing administrative overreach and keeping student organizations autonomous. And then finally, with well-being, we think that this is the most important, because if we're not healthy and well, we are not able to efficiently be the Aggie family. We want to make sure that people are taken care of with nutrition, health, safety, and mental health, because we know that's a really big issue here on campus. By expanding those resources to maybe West Campus and just growing those resources on campus, we want to make sure that every Aggie gets the chance to be their best self.
Helena Mccrossen, a poultry science and agricultural leadership and development junior, wants to make campus better.
So my campaign is to make a better campus happen. So this is through transparency, student success, and an improved campus environment. Let's connect to students, let's bring everyone together and make sure their voices are heard, so that this campus is truly for them.
Political science junior Logan Moore said his campaign is for the student body.
More for Aggieland is not just my initiatives and my campaign for the student body. It's for you. It's for the students that experience these microaggressions, that experience these different things throughout the university and their experiences, to really show them, how they can fit in within the university, and it's to show them like they matter, is to show that you matter, because all I want to give the university is more for diversity, more for inclusion, more for community, more for equity, more for you, and then more for Aggie Land.
Biomedical science sophomore Christian Newton said his vision is to reach out to every student.
So the All In for Newton vision is to reach out to every single student in an effort to be all in for Aggies. So all in for remembrance, all in for empowerment, all in for academics, all in for community, all in for health. We really want to make sure that every single student's voice is heard in our platform, and what we want to see in Aggie Land next year, and what the entire student body wants to see in Aggie Land. And so I have specific ideas, like I already talked about, remembering our traditions as well as empowering students' voices, advocating for academic improvements as well as continuing to build a sense of community, and pushing for health improvements on our campus as well.
Jacob Pratt, a finance junior, said people are his passion.
Well, I'd start off by saying, like I said before, I'm a people person. That's always been my passion. I'm probably one of the most extroverted people you'll meet. I think my love for Aggies is what will make me a good representative and advocate for the student body as a whole. We got some practical changes that I want to implement, be that a week off for Thanksgiving, a great mental health for students, or continuing to push to digitize student IDs and sports passes, or providing Scantrons for students so they don't have to worry about that, bringing them on their tests and quizzes. This is something really personal to me. I'm really excited to, this experience thus far has been a blast, just running. And I think, all the people I've got to talk to, all the fun and productive it's been just running. I can't think of how great it'd be, actually being in the office and having a full year being that my job. So this is something I'm really passionate about, and I'd love to partner with Pratt.
Noble Udo said his campaign is about opportunities, service, and accessing resources.
So if I had 30 seconds, I would say that my platform is increasing awareness of opportunities, increasing availability of services, and decreasing barriers to accessing resources.
Sports management junior Nicholas Zhang said he wants to give the student government more power.
Okay, so my platform is interesting. My whole idea is that student government has no voice, period. It's been it's been seen all throughout this entire semester so far, and we're only a few weeks in reality. The administration does not care what the student body has to say. They have proven it by wanting to shut down the battalion, that is, but still the president is dodging questions and hasn't made it too clear about whether or not the battalion is going to be printing past this semester. And that's just one of the instances. I don't feel like this current administration really listens to the student body. We are Aggies, we are rooted in culture, and I don't feel like this administration is really looking at that culture. So my entire platform is that the student government has no power except for over themselves. I want to change that. I want to be the bridge between the student body and the administration. I am just a regular, average student, and I just want change.
Now on to the Yell leaders. This year, 10 students are running for Yell leader, represented by two different parties. 5 for Yell, which represents the Corps of Cadets, and Ag 5 Yell, which is composed of non-Corps members. First, we'll discuss all 5 of the 5 for Yell candidates. Up first is Zach Cross, a construction science junior whose favorite yell is Farmer's Fight and whose favorite tradition is Saw 'em Off.
I'd say I'm qualified to be a senior yell leader because I'm very involved across campus, being in a men's org, being in the Corps, and being a part of philanthropy group. And I also just served this past year as a junior yell leader, which has been an incredible opportunity and blessing. I think we had a great year. 2021 was a big come up from the past couple of years due to COVID, and it was great to see the 12th man just come together and show out and show so much support and love for all of our athletes and honestly just all students. And having helped facilitate that, I think that I can do that again next year.
Up next is Nathan Drain, a communications junior whose favorite yell is Locomotive and whose favorite tradition is Howdy.
Oof, why am I qualified to be a yell leader? I would say that I've been involved in a lot of things on campus, whether that's been flows I was in Flex, I was a fish camp counselor, I'm in a men's organization called OLAGs, I was a Pine Cove counselor, Texas A&amp tennis camp counselor, and then right now I'm in Squadron 17 in the Corps, so I felt like that's a great way that I've been qualified to be able to reach a lot of people around Texas A&M and hopefully let everybody know that they're welcome at Texas A&M and they should feel loved. So that's why.
Next is Kip Connect, an industrial engineering junior, whose favorite yell is 15 for team, farmers fight, call it a night. And his favorite tradition is howdy.
Yeah, so I think I've had some experience in the job this past year. We've done some incredible things. The 12th man has come out and we've broken attendance records at Kyle Field, Arena. We've welcomed the largest class of freshmen to A&M in a long time. And I've been extremely blessed and lucky to have this opportunity to serve in this role. So I just want to continue to do that this next year. I feel like the energy and passion I have for A&M is contagious. I think I represent the student body from the organizations that I'm a part of, and I just want to give back to this school.
Next is Thomas Grieve, a philosophy sophomore, whose favorite yell is locomotive and whose favorite tradition is bonfire remembrance.
I believe I'm qualified to be a yell leader because of my involvement at Texas A&M, whether that's from the core or all the way on the other side of things to fish camp. I've been able to help all walks of life at A&M be immersed into the spirit of Aggieland that makes this place so special. And as a yell leader, you have the amazing opportunity to be able to touch such a wide spread of students here.
And the last of the 5 for yell candidates is Trevor Yeltsin, a construction science sophomore. His favorite yell is beat the hell out of, and whose favorite tradition is silver taps.
I believe I'm qualified to be a yeller just because coming from the Corps Cadets, you have your people that are above you and you have your people below you, and you learn how to respect and follow through all those core values that Texas A&M holds so strongly. And so I believe that embodying all those core values is what helped me get to the point I am. And with 5 for Yell, it was a strenuous process just to get to this point. And so that's why I do believe I am qualified to run for Junior Yell.
Up next, we'll listen to why each of the 5 Ag 5 Yell candidates wants to be a yell leader. Up first, Michael Mubarak, a petroleum engineering junior, whose favorite yell is beat the hell out of, and whose favorite tradition is midnight yell.
I believe that I'm qualified to be a yell leader because anybody on this campus who is passionate, who is spirited, who has the desire, who has the will, and who is willing to put in the work is qualified to be a yell leader. That is the reason we are running. We are not just running for ourselves. We are running to prove that anybody at this university has those capabilities and can put themselves out there and do this. There's 70,000 Aggies now. That's tens and thousands of stories from different perspectives, different cultures, different backgrounds, different everything. And our mission is to represent each and every one of them as yell leaders. We want to prove to the world that anybody who has the passion can do this. We're the first time that a 5-person co-candidacy has ever run against 5 for Yell, and we will not be the last. Plain and simple, this is the inaugural year of an ongoing effort. Our intention is to prove to the world that what we are doing is possible. We want to prove to the freshman who just walked onto this campus, who has a desire to be a yell leader, that if he works hard enough, he or she can do it. We want to prove to the 4th grader that's looking up, watching Aggie football, seeing those guys in white on the sideline. We want to prove to him that if he wants to bad enough, that one day that can be him.
Next is Andrew Plant, a computer science and mathematics junior, whose favorite yell is locomotive and whose favorite tradition is silver taps.
My qualification, I've held a couple of leadership roles throughout my time at A&M. So I was placed on an executive board of ARC whenever I came in, and that helped me do things like public speaking and interpersonal skills. But I think what's most important when it comes to yell leader is the heart. And I think it really requires a love for this university. And I think anybody will tell you, I love this university so much. It's worked wonders for me. And it's so hard to put into words how much I care for this place and its people. And I just want to give that back in the fullest. And I want to make this university so incredible, more incredible than it already is. And I don't know how much more incredible it can get, but I just want to do my best to give back.
Up next is Parker Wagner, a mechanical engineering junior. His favorite yell is locomotive, and his favorite tradition is silver taps.
Absolutely. That's a fun question to answer. I don't really like talking about my own accolades, but I like to consider myself a very outgoing, friendly person. I feel like I'm well-spoken. I have lots of training. I get to talk for 90 minutes about A&M every week to prospective students and their families, so that's a blast. I'm very well versed in our traditions. I mean, I've learned every single tour point about Texas A&M. So when it comes to speaking at fish camps or going to Aggie Moms Clubs, I feel like I just have a blast sharing my experiences with the university. I mean, I still need to work on the yells themselves. I don't have that exactly down. Talking with some former yell leaders, are like, you need to fix this form a little bit. But ultimately, I feel like the most important thing about running for yell leaders is you have to have the passion, because you are giving a lot of your time to the university. You are becoming the face of the university. It takes a lot of grit to know that you are going to be serving the university every single week, multiple days a week, wearing the all whites and representing every single student here at Texas A&M. So that holds a lot of weight to me. So I know I need to mentally prepare for what that entails, but I feel like I've definitely got the qualifications to make sure that I serve the university well.
And next is Ryan Jablon, an industrial engineering sophomore, whose favorite yell is military and whose favorite tradition is bonfire remembrance.
Well, I don't know any other org that's more passionate about traditions than Sawmoff. I mean, we lead away midnight yells at the YMCA building. During COVID, we were still able to safely meet, of course, but I mean, no one's more passionate about those guys. And I want to show everyone how great they are.
And the final candidate from Ag 5 is Blake Sher, an agricultural economics sophomore, whose favorite yell is beat the hell out of and whose favorite tradition is muster.
I've been on different leadership roles, different positions, to be able to be capable of moving people in the right direction. I would say also kind of who I am. I would say I'm a very motivated and very interactive guy. It doesn't matter who you are or what your background comes from, because we're all Aggies, and I feel like I could come into an atmosphere and definitely change people for the best. Definitely teach those fishes at fish camp rich traditions that we have. I think that I would say I'm your guy in a sense that, you know, if you talking about a yell leader and putting at that position to definitely impact people, I'm one of those persons. I'm very passionate about this university, almost too passionate. My friends that aren't Aggies, they mess with me about it. But no, I love this university so much. It's one of those things. It's like I'm not running just to call myself a yell leader. You know, if I was elected and I saw those whites putting on the first time, I'd probably cry, just because it's like it'd be such a surreal moment. This university means so much to me.
That's all for this week's episode. For more information on all the candidates, be sure to check out our election guide, available in both print and online. Also, to watch the full interviews of each candidate, please visit our website. This week's contributors are Aubrey Vogel, Michaela Rush, and Kyle McClinigan. This week's episode was produced and edited by Kyle McClinigan.